Good morning. I'm Misty Garmon. As far as for the church, I play keyboard and I'm part of the praise band. But outside of church, I am a mother and a nurse, especially in geriatrics. I love the elderly. That's my calling. I'm also a foster parent of 3 years, and we have teenage boys in our house. And I'm a breast cancer survivor for the 5 years. And I tell you all that because that sort of leads into where I feel God's talked to me and I felt Him the most. My husband has always said that his favorite age of his kids have been that 2 to 3 year old range. They're fun, they like to play, you feel like you can't break them. So that's always the age he loves, to be around kids and work with them. And I tell you that story because there was a time my daughter had played in Doritos and honey. I won't go in detail, but she had quite a mess, and who does she run to but her daddy? And he engulfs her, because if anybody knows my husband, he's like 6 foot, and he just wraps his arms around her to protect her and tell me that she's just a baby, leave her alone. So in that same story, in my cancer survival, the day of my surgery, I'm at a loss. I'm a nurse. I'm supposed to take care of everybody else, not anybody have to take care of me. I'm supposed to be in charge. I'm supposed to know what to do. And the morning of my surgery, as my husband's sleeping and I'm by myself and I'm going through all the worries and what's going to happen and how's this going to affect my family, who's going to take care of me, I feel God's arms wrap around me, just like my husband did my daughter on that morning when she was in trouble. He was there physically holding me and loving on me like a daddy's supposed to do. And so through that memory and all through the rest of my surgery and my fight for the cancer, when I would rely on God and go back to that childlike faith and be still and listen, like that 2 or 3 year old, is when I would feel Him the most. So I want to encourage you to have childlike faith. Yes, I think God deserves to be respected, and we need to realize His mighty power and where He's at, and He sits up on a throne, but He also wants to be like how we envision our earthly Father, that He wants to hold us and He wants to hear that, and He wants us to come to Him and listen and just be there and enjoy the trials, but the fun. And when I've always followed that and listened and talked to Him, whether that be in the car or going to work or going to bed, when I have more of that childlike faith and still, then I hear Him the most. He's always been there with me through that. And I see that through my cancer fight and how I've overcome that and how He's been there. So I just want to encourage you to remember He wants to love on you just like fathers want to love on their kids here on earth. He wants that as well. The other thing that I have gained through my experience is that He's there in the little things. Maybe life isn't how we picture it. We're so busy that we want to be precise. We want God to answer it just how we want it, and we forget to look at how He's prepared us. With my story, He set that stage. I have an uncle that always talked to God and taught me that familiar family type of talking to God, that He is our Father. And so that set me up, I think, to be ready for when trials hit me, when I couldn't be in control and I needed a daddy to be there and comfort and direct me. He brought me, we lived in North Carolina, He brought me here back home to be close to family and friends when I went through my cancer fight. He brought me to a church that loved on me and took care of me. I had joined a small group right before all this happened, so I had a group of ladies that was checking on me daily, being honest, bringing all that. Every step that I can go through, he was there. Would I have asked for cancer? Absolutely not. But he brought what I needed through that stage. I would not directed my path to go like it did, but he brought it all together. And as I look back, I see that. So I can either be mad and upset that it didn't go as I had planned, or I can look back and see that he was there through every step of the way and brought a close and a help through that to help grow me and mature me. So I just want you to know my heart that lean on him, be open. Sometimes I think we don't want to be immature and we want to be respectful, but I think when we have that childlike faith and truly lean on him like a child leans on you as a parent, that's when we get the most from him. And when we learn to see where he's brought you, then we can see the positive and know he's always been there and he's going to provide and take care of us.